Hey scrapbook friends, it's Nicole and I'm here with just a quick little tip. I have no idea where I got this idea. I've been doing it for many years, but that is to create little sizing templates to use to help you decide how to crop your photos. Now, a lot of times we might use a project recipe or a layout that's pre-designed, and you might need to have a specific size photo to fit the space that you've done on one of these pre-designed layouts. So I'm going to use this one as my sample. I don't think I have already a template this size. And all you need is a piece of white cardstock. You can use, nice white cardstock. I always like to use the extra cardstock that comes in the CM paper packs. A ruler, a pencil, an X-Acto knife, and a mat with a grid, some kind of something with a grid. You can do this with a ruler, but it's so much faster if you do it with a grid. So I'm going to want to make a mat so I can crop my photo to fit in this little square. And so this square is 3 by 3.5. And so I like to have about 1/4 inch space. So for a 3 by 3.5, I would probably want a 2.5 by 3 sized template. So I like to go about 1/2 inch smaller. And so I'm going to use this little piece of white, just kind of scrap white cardstock, and I'm going to line it up with the grid here on my work surface. If you have like a self-healing mat, you can use that. Any of those things are going to work, but it makes it a lot faster if you have this kind of a grid for your background. And I don't know that you guys are going to be able to see the numbers on my ruler very well, but I know that I want it to be 2.5 by 3 inches. So I'm starting here, making sure that I'm on the line, and then I'm going to use, I think I'll use number 2 inch, and I'm going to line it up with these 2 lines so that I know that my line is straight. And I'm going to start 1 inch in. I'm going to go 3 inches. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to count up on my grid side over here. These are 1/2 inch grid marks, and I want to have 2.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I'm going to start with the 2 inch. Doesn't really matter which exact one you start with. But so here's the 2 inch. I'm going to start 1 inch in. 1, 2, 3. And then basically the same kind of thing. I'll put the lines, I'm lining up with this on my mat and putting one of the inch marks right here. So 1, 2.5, and then right here. And the last one's easy because you pretty much, as long as you're lining up your ruler with the grid marks, you just have to meet those corners. And then I just take an X-Acto knife. You could do this like with the new CM trimmer, but I just find an X-Acto knife is plenty easy. And if you don't have a steady hand, it doesn't really matter if it's a little bit wavy. You could use probably a metal ruler along the side to keep your cut straight, but I have a pretty steady hand with an X-Acto knife. So I'm just going to cut right along this edge. And I like to do parallel sides. And then I'm going to turn and do these parallel sides. All right, so that cuts out my piece. So I don't actually want to crop this picture to that size, but let's see. I have one of, we went to Disney World. All right, so this is an extra picture. This is of my little nephew doing the Jedi thing. So here, I'm just going to put this on, and I'm going to see that I want the bottom of this sizing guide to be at the bottom. And you can just kind of mark with a pencil if you want, but I'm just going to eyeball it and see that I'm kind of going to cut this kid's face off. Actually, maybe I'll go a little bit that way and cut his face off. But this way I know that this picture is going to fit in this size crop that I want it to crop. Whereas like if I wanted to put this picture in, which is the album I'm actually working on right now, I mean, actually that looks really cute to zoom in on them like that. But it just allows me to see what the finished picture is going to look like after I'm done cropping without cropping. And then you just have to kind of give yourself a guide of where to start your cut so that you can measure. Like this one, I might use this sliding door in the background or something like that. So it's not like you're not going to trace in it. You could, but that's going to make the insides kind of icky. This is just for you to help you decide if you can crop your photo to various sizes. And I just have a whole bunch of different sizes that I've made as I need them. And I have this little curtain ring. Years ago, I had this little curtain rod. It has a clip on it. And so I just keep these clipped together. Usually I have an easier time. I just keep these clipped together, make sure one of the corners is even, and they hang on a little hook over here to the side of my scrapbook table. And whenever I need it, I can just pull it up and I write on here what size the photo is that I've cropped it to fit. All right, so I hope this helps you if you've been struggling about pre-made pages or project recipes or sketches like that, knowing how to crop your photo. Will my photo fit in this space and look nice when I cut it? So thanks a lot. I hope that some of you are scrapbooking with me on a Zoom crop this weekend. We're having a great time. I hope wherever you are, you're having a great time, and happy scrapbooking.